Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Um, the last couple days, news recently broke that Robert Pattinson is reportedly going to be playing the next Batman. It's coming out in 2021, is done by Matt Reeves, and I cannot be any more disappointed. Before, you go off and say, oh, well, he's a great actor. I will give you that. He is a great actor. I do like Robert Pattinson. Um, I'm not going to say I don't think he can't do it, but when I really think about all the roles he's done, him as a person, he just does not fit the bill of Bruce Wayne or Batman. And I'm sorry, but I cannot see him playing either of them. Um, Same with Nicholas Hoult. When I heard that the role was between him and Robert Pattinson, great actor. I like him, but I cannot see him as either Batman or Bruce Wayne. I don't know what Warner Brothers is doing, but they are really screwing up with these casting choices. Now, before you go and say what everybody else is going to say, oh, well, he's a good actor. I will admit they are both great actors. I'm not going to lie. And I definitely think they can both carry films, but Batman is such a specific character that when you really break down these two as actors, regardless of what they can bring to the table, I can still not see either one of them portraying him properly. Um, the second thing is, everybody is going to say, of course, well, this happens every time they cast a Batman. It's always controversial and people don't like it. There's not been one time that me personally, has ever looked at who they cast as Batman and went, wow, how crappy. Of course, you have Michael Keaton. I thought was like many others. At the time, I wasn't even alive when that Batman came out. But I've seen things saying it was so controversial, people didn't want him. But I think Michael Keaton's a great actor, and when you really break down his role in those movies, he really does portray the three sides of Bruce Wayne and Batman, and that's really what it comes down to for me. You have Bruce Wayne to himself as he is around the mansion, Bruce Wayne in the public eye, and then you have Batman. Going on with the rest of the movies, Val Kilmer was another one I thought portrayed all three of the roles very well. George Clooney, no, but that was a 90s movie. I was a kid. I didn't really care or mind. I still don't think he was a great Batman, and at least he can even admit that too, which is why I still love George Clooney. Then you get to Christian Bale, which nobody has been able to top. And like Michael Keaton, Christian Bale was another person who portrayed the three roles very well. And I'm going to say three roles because when you break it down, ultimately that's what Batman is. Batman is basically three different characters. I don't want to say different characters, but he's three different people within one person. So you need to get somebody who can portray all three of them. Christian Bale did a great job, and then yet again, of course, when Ben Affleck got cast as Batman, everybody was outraged. I wasn't. I was optimistic because I know Ben Affleck was at least a fan, and he was going to at least do what he could. And personally, I don't mind Ben Affleck as Batman. I rewatched, Justice League the other day, and I haven't seen Batman vs Superman in a little while, but I do remember the movie very well. I think Ben Affleck actually does a pretty good job at doing all three of them. I'm not going to say it's the greatest, but besides Christian Bale and Michael Keaton, and I'll even throw Val Kilmer in there, but Ben Affleck wasn't the worst choice. And now, the two choices that reports it came down to were Robert Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult. And the more I think about it, the more angry I get. For one, I get more angry because if Robert Pattinson would have got it, Nicholas Hoult would have got it, and that would have outraged me even more. And like I said, I'm not trying to say that I don't think they couldn't pull it off or they're not great actors. I think that they are. But for me, if you couldn't tell by my shirt and some of my toys and stuff, I've been a huge Batman fan ever since I was a kid. I mean, when I grew up, when I was a little kid, the Batman animated series was on, and that was my childhood. Some of my earliest memories are Batman. And I was going to do this video a little while ago, kind of compile a list of people who I thought should play Batman. I was going to do it, but then I kind of backtracked because I thought, I don't really want to get the backlash over it if I do get any, because I don't really have any subscribers or people that visit my channel too often. But I started, watching other movies and really started thinking about people who could actually portray the three people pretty well. And, I don't have a huge list, but when I do start off, because we do know that this is supposed to be a younger Batman. I understand that. But one of the things about Hollywood is it's almost easier to make somebody look younger than it is older. So having somebody who's a little bit slightly older, let's say in their, maybe 40s, you could still make them a believable starting out Batman. So before I get into my younger choices, I'm going to start off with some of my older choices who understood this isn't the direction that this movie is going in, but these are my choices of who I would pick if they were the older ones. So anyway, like I was saying, I have a small list of 4 people who are older actors who I think could portray. First off, I'll start with I don't want to say the oldest, but the person who looks the oldest who I would pick, who I would think would do a pretty good job. First one I have is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I've had a fondness for him as an actor for a very long time. Pretty much everything I've ever seen him in, I've loved him in. And he is a very versatile actor. And I think he could definitely pull off Batman. Definitely pull off Batman, around the cave. I can just picture him saying, what does this world come to, Al? And that Jeffrey Dean Morgan voice. There's something about his character that he's so charismatic. And Batman isn't that charismatic of a character, but the way that he can channel that, I feel like he could do pretty well. My only concern with him would be maybe him as like the billionaire, millionaire, whatever you want to call it. That's the only issue I would be a little concerned about with him as an actor. But he's been in some great things. The next one I'm going to say is a little out there, but I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he's actually pretty good because I've been a fan for his, again, for a long time. But Alexander Skarsgård. Of course, he was in True Blood. He's been in Tarzan. He's been in a couple. He's gotten a little bit bigger over the last couple of years. But if you watch him in True Blood, one thing I would like for you to take away is that he basically is like a well-off rich person, and he portrays that very well. And in his other movies, he's proven to be versatile as well. And you could definitely make him look young. I mean, the people who I picked for the older, or maybe at most in their like mid-40s. And you could definitely scale them back. That's my only problem with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I'm not making fun of the guy because I love him, but he does have a lot of miles on his face. So that's my only concern about possibly making him a younger one. Alexander Skarsgård, you could definitely make him look young. He got ripped for Tarzan, and I'm not saying Batman has to be ripped, but if you watch him in True Blood, which is one of my all-time favorite shows, you can really see his range, and you will see what I'm talking about if you watch that he could definitely be a Batman and a Bruce Wayne and carry a movie. Next person I have has been in a couple action movies. Karl Urban. He was in, Judge Dredd, and of course the Star Trek movies. But he really, to me, I don't want to say based off just looks, but he really fits the physique of Bruce Wayne and Batman. And I definitely think that there's a different side of him that we could see. Because, like Judge Dredd, it's kind of a darker side. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, DC is too dark, blah, blah, blah. With the way that Marvel does things, you need that as a counterbalance. I'm sorry. And it's true to the source material. And that's what me, ultimately, as a fan, am upset about, is that the fact that Warner Brothers is almost having, like, no disregard for what the actual people want. And I'm personally not going to see this movie, the Batman movie, since Robert Pattinson is in it. no offense to him, I'm sorry, and believe me, it really pains me because I would love to do nothing more than support Warner Brothers and DC, but I cannot bring myself to go spend my money to see somebody who I can never see as a Batman. Possibly if he got older, but anyway, I'm a little sidetracking a little bit, but I think Carl Urban would be a good choice. He's just got a sophistication about him that I think as Bruce Wayne could be portrayed, but like again in Judge Dredd, where he could have a dark badass side to him, and I could really see that. The next person I have is a little bit out there, because I have seen comments and I have seen him, in a couple things, and it made me kind of reconsider, but Chris Milani. Yeah, he was in Law and Order. He was in Happy. He's been in a couple shows and movies. Really watching him as an actor, he really has this Michael Keaton-esque quality to him that I think he could almost resurrect like an older or younger Michael Keaton. I don't want to say younger Michael Keaton, but like he seems like he would be in the same ballpark. I think he could definitely be a brooding, badass mofo. But at the same time, in like Law and Order, you see he really does have this like sense of justice, and you could see him being Bruce Wayne in the Batcave, or around the mansion. You could see him as that side, and I could see him as the millionaire side. Of course, these are older ones, so I don't want to take too much time on them, but if that ever comes up in the future, I definitely think that they should consider some of those people as an older Batman. Now moving into the younger ones. This was a little bit trickier. It's a little bit harder to pick younger people because, like I said, you need somebody who can convey 3 different personalities, basically. And there's not a lot of people that can do that. And younger, that's why I like the idea of an older Batman. Because Batman just always seems like he's so much more experienced. And because he is. He's more experienced, he's more well-balanced. He, keeps a level head on his shoulders. That's something you normally tend to get with a older actor. But anyway, moving into the younger ones, I will start off with first one, Armie Hammer. I'm not saying I'm a big fan of his, but I could definitely see him as Batman. I honestly don't know why they didn't just, I don't want to say let him have it, but why they didn't pick him for Justice League, or the original Justice League script that was written, even though he was cast for it. I think he would do a good job. I'm not saying he's the best, but I definitely think he should have gotten a shot as the character. Here's one that's a little bit out there, but yet again, just based on things that I've personally seen him in, I know he would actually be pretty good. Bill Skarsgård. Alexander Skarsgård's brother, who stars as Pennywise in It. And one thing I would like to say about him is, like, of course, he could do far out there, like, dark stuff because he's Pennywise in It. But if you haven't seen him in Hemlock Grove, who he's basically, a rich kid, he conveys that very well. And with, altering his appearance, I'm not saying, like, Batman couldn't have long hair. I mean, look at Christian Bale. But, why not? I think he's shown a lot of versatility since he's burst onto the scene. And I know that he really has become somewhat of like a character actor, and he would be great. I think he would definitely bring something new. He definitely captures the Bruce Wayne, millionaire-esque quality. But if you also watch Hemlock Grove, you can see he has a darker side to him, and of course in Pennywise, but you don't even know that's really him in It because he's under all that makeup. So, but I also think he's due for a big-time lead role aside from It, because we're only getting one more It movie, and then he's going to be free after that. Well, not free, but he could definitely possibly do this. Here are 2 actors who I'm not necessarily huge fans of. I know who they are. I do think they're great actors, but upon watching them in a couple scenes in their shows, I kind of developed a fondness for them. And I will start with the lesser of the 2 who I could see doing it. But Jared Padalecki. I'm sorry if I mispronounce his name, from Supernatural, and of course he was in the Friday the 13th reboot. I think I've read before that he has wanted to play Batman. If not Batman, Robin, or something like that. I'm not sure. I can't remember because it was years ago. But he may not be the best choice, but this is one of those ones like Armie Hammer where I think he could personally do a great job, because I think he has another side of him that we have yet to see. And if I remember correctly from what I read, years ago, he's a huge Batman fan. He's definitely got the physique already for it, and I don't know. He kind of reminds me of Christian Bale somewhat with appearance wise, and I really think he could do a great job. And on that note, with Supernatural, which I'm not a huge fan of the show, like I said, I know what it is, but Jensen Ackles. Sorry again if I pronounce your name wrong. But him, I really wasn't even considering him because like I watched a couple things with Supernatural to see Jared's like qualities about him, but upon watching that, he really has this dark tone about him, and I don't know if you could tell, but I'm all about tone and emotion, and when it comes to movies and portraying characters that I like, I want them to be accurate. I want them to be like the source material. They don't have to be exactly like it, because I'm not gonna not go see something because of something like that. But looking at him, he really, I think he would be a really badass Batman. I can just see him, like some of those scenes that he has in Supernatural of him being pissed off and, dark. I think he would be a great job. I think he has a great look that he would be. And plus, one thing about these actors, they may not necessarily, I think they're all at the most in their 30s, maybe, like close to pushing 40. But all these people that I've mentioned so far on the younger side of the scale, you could make them look younger. It's only for one movie. And I know there's going to be, possibly sequels to it, but you could definitely progress his age up pretty quickly to match to what modern Batman would look like. I think he is a great pick. He is one of my dark horses who I would like to see. Like I said, not being a huge fan and not completely knowing all of his work, I really think he would bring something new to a Batman. Now here's another person that I really think would be a good Batman, because like all these other ones, like I said, he's young, but all these people have versatility. And when I really think about them, I think that they would be good Bruce Waynes in the public eye. I think they would be good Bruce Waynes at home. And I think they would be great Batmans. And that's the three things that I feel like Robert Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult are missing. Yeah, they may make good Bruce Waynes or something like that, but I can't see them fitting the profile for all three of the personalities. I cannot. It's just unfathomable to me. I cannot see either one of them playing Batman. My second to last person that I would like to see play both, who has proven to be a versatile actor, been on Heroes, American Horror Story. He's on the new Nosferatu show or series that's coming on AMC that just premiered last night that I've yet to watch. But I've been a fan of him for a while. Plus, of course, he was in Star Trek too. Zachary Quinto. He, I think, could definitely portray all three sides of the character. I don't want to say he seems like a rich guy, but he has an elegance about him that Bruce Wayne has. And I can definitely see him getting, ripped to play Batman. And I could definitely see him as being Bruce Wayne in his home. One of the things about Robert Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult, obviously Robert Pattinson has officially gotten the role, but one thing I can't see them is them sitting around the Batcave just being like, Al, how can we figure this out? What can we do? Or I'm doing this. There's something about them that I cannot picture. Don't get me, like I said, I think they are great actors, but not for Batman. I could see either one of them as possibly Robin, more so Robert Pattinson. Nicholas Hoult, no, because I'm a huge Robin fan as well. But to me, Nicholas Hoult looks more like a Riddler to me. He looks like Edward Nygma to me. Not just because of the Gotham show, but he looks... I mean, I'm not trying to harp on their physique or their appearance. Because, like I said, I think they are both phenomenal, great actors. I love them in all the stuff that they've been in besides Twilight. But... And even in Twilight, Robert Pattinson kind of stole the show. But just no. Like I said, I cannot picture any of Nicholas Hoult or Robert Pattinson portraying Bruce Wayne at home, Bruce Wayne in the public, or Batman. It's just all across the board. I cannot see it. But Zachary Quinto, I think he is versatile. I think he's been around long enough. Out of the rest of the younger actors, he definitely has the most credits as an actor. So he has the experience. But anyway, I would like to get to my number one choice, and I am kind of fanboying a little bit just because of how much I've recently loved him as an actor. And I mean, like I said in my other videos, he is probably my favorite actor right now. But my number one pick for Batman or Bruce Wayne in the public eye is James McAvoy. Hear me out first. You're going to say, of course, but he was Professor X in X-Men. It's too soon. That last movie is coming out this year. So that'll give us 2 years for him to take a break from that role. Because this is the last time he's going to be playing him. And before you say anything about, well, he was Professor X, well, Nicholas Hoult was Beast. So, but that's not even in the MCU. So I don't see a problem bringing him over. But to me, James McAvoy is hands down the best person for this. Not only is he a phenomenal actor, he is a little bit, I don't want to say older, but he looks great for his age. He doesn't look his age. And you could definitely scale him down to look younger. But the biggest thing is, watch him in Split. Watch him in Glass. Watch him in X-Men. This dude can act. This guy portrayed, 20 different personalities, 20 plus different personalities over the course of 2 different movies, and he kills it. So to me, James McAvoy would definitely, from Split and Professor X in the X-Men movies, he's already jacked too, but I think he would kill as a Batman. You get him a little bit more ripped, and you bring that darkness that he can bring as an actor, kills it. Sophisticated rich guy, or it's just he exudes sophistication, and he would definitely kill it as Bruce Wayne. And I can see him as a Bruce Wayne hanging around, the manor and the Batcave, being his true self. He's just got so many different dimensions to him as an actor that I think is unparalleled, that no other person can portray. So James McAvoy, I think, should play Batman. I know, like I said, because of X-Men movies and whatnot, you may think he's, contractually or whatever. That's all over after this year. And don't forget, we're gonna get a 2-year break to possibly see him in other movies, but hands down, I think James McAvoy should play Batman. But anyway, another thing that kind of confuses me, I've read all the stuff that we've known so far, is they're bringing back Jeremy Irons as Alfred. But if they're kind of scrapping Ben Affleck as Batman in the DCEU, I think you need to replace him. I think he's a great actor. I thought he was a great fit for an Alfred. But one thing I noticed in Batman vs. Superman and Justice League is I don't want to say he's too good of an actor, but this is a man who has held movies on his own, and then you kind of have him come in playing his butler, but in the movies you don't really see him being a butler. Like, he's kind of more so of his friend just hanging out, and I'm not saying that doesn't happen with, Alfred in the comics, but Alfred is a lot more involved, like, in the Batcave at home than we see. He does a lot more behind-the-scenes stuff. So if you're going to completely, almost redo Batman in this universe, I think you need a new Alfred. And one person that I came across, because I just watched an interview for him, who I think would kill as Alfred as well, Paul Bettany. why not? He was, people are going to say, you're just kind of taking people from other, like the MCU and trying to resurrect the DCU. I don't see that at all. Their contracts are over. The movies didn't do that well. The X-Men movies didn't do that well. I mean, I liked them because I was an X-Men fan from the show because I grew up in the 90s. And X-Men was almost the first superhero movie that did well. But why not? Like I said, and same with Paul Bettany. Yeah, of course he was in the MCU, in the Avengers, Vision and Jarvis. But he died in Infinity War, so he hasn't been relevant to the character for years. But anyway, this is my little rant. I keep seeing stuff online, and I just completely have lost hope in this future upcoming Batman movie. Like I said, I like Robert Pattinson as an actor. I'm a little lesser of a fan of Nicholas Hoult, but he didn't get the part. Robert Pattinson did. And I just have an issue being such a huge Batman fan with him portraying 3 different sides of a very complex character. And that's another reason why I think James McAvoy would do a great job. Out of all these people that I have named, he has the most versatility, and I definitely think all around is the best actor. And now he's free from his contractual obligation. So I don't understand. I mean, that's one thing I realized that about DC. I don't want to say DC because ultimately it's Warner Brothers. But I've stuck by and I've given chances to all of these Batman actors. And not once have I ever said, he's not going to make a good Batman. Every time they've casted the Batman, of course, people have said, oh, he sucks and he's not going to be a good Batman. Not me. I've always seen a quality in the people that they've picked, and they've ended up not being bad. But definitely not Robert Pattinson. I'm sorry. Like I said, I really like him as an actor, and I definitely think he should play some comic book, superhero or character. But it is just not Batman or Bruce Wayne. I'm sorry. But anyway, I had to get this off my chest because, like I said, I've been seeing a lot of stuff online pop up lately, and I kind of wanted to get my 2 cents in. Go figure, right? But anyway, I just want to make this little quick video for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you think any of the actors that I think would make great Batmans. Or let me know what your choice would be, because I'm sure there's people that I'm missing. But when I really thought down to like current actors who could definitely give something fresh but keep the character in mind, I definitely think that you have to consider at least one of these people as Batman / Bruce Wayne. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble on any longer. That's my video for today. I should have a review coming up next week, hopefully. I was going to do one, but this has just been on my mind too long, and I really wanted to get it off my chest. So anyway, like and subscribe. If you can, drop a like. Let me know what you think below. Let me know your choices. And anyway, I will see you guys next time, and have a great day as always.